All right.
Oh, hey.
Jason, you're going to kick us off.
Follow me on MySpace.
You're going to kick us off.
Me?
Yeah, why don't you bring that in? You did last time, and I think you were great at it.
Oh, thanks.
He was great.
It was probably my hair.
We'll
talk about.
Why do you not have the hair showing today, bro? You
I just showered.
Were you insecure?
No, I just showered.
Her hair is so lazy. I can't.
So funny.
I
had to put my hair up because I was looking like Sideshow Bob.
Oh no! I saw your story. You were a
queen.
All right,
ready? A cabbage patch.
Jason, are you ready? We're going live.
Are we sound checking?
We already did. Going live. 3.
Come on, Lord.
2.
All for Jesus.
Hey, what's up, beautiful people? We are here. This is our podcast. It is Sunday afternoon, I think. What is it?
2-ish?
2 o'clock?
Yep. 3-ish?
We have an awesome guest today, so we won't spend a whole lot of time with ourselves because there's a lot to talk about. Started off real quick, highs and lows. I guess I'll just do it. I had my low today. My highs and lows for the week. Normally I don't have a lot of lows, but I don't really care if I do because it makes me feel human, I guess. Lows would be apartment living. It's so stupid. It's so stupid. So there's an issue with my garbage disposal, and it's not like my sink is clogged, but I ran the dishwasher, which, by the way, I don't always use the dishwasher. My mom taught me to like hand wash a lot.
Hand wash.
So
Clean as you go.
I am always hand washing. But today,
lessons.
I was lazy, and it was Sunday, and I had some other things to do. But as I was using the dishwasher, I'm getting ready. I just got back from the gym. I'm getting ready to shower and freshen up and whatnot. And I walk by the kitchen and I smell something really not okay.
Like what did it smell like?
Something that was noticeable. A fart, I guess.
Moldy food.
No, moldy food. It smelled like moldy food. And I thought like Odin like pooped or something, which he doesn't do that. He doesn't really have any accidents. And I see my sink starting to back up. There's some water coming. I'm like, this isn't cool.
No.
And I already put a work order in for my garbage disposal to get fixed. So I end up, as I'm getting ready for the shower, I like go to the bathroom. I get the plunger.
Oh man.
And I plunge my sink, which is, it's fine. And
you gotta do what you gotta do though.
And it went down, so I guess it was okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Apartment living.
Apartment living.
So low.
Sometimes a lot of times it's low. Highs would be,
it can only go up from there.
I don't really have any highs, honestly. It was just a decent week. I worked like a lot. Oh, I got a gym membership today.
Yeah, you were at the gym.
What gym?
Planet Fitness, son.
No!
I know, I almost... Okay, here's the deal.
Sell out!
Get your fitness on.
I feel so awkward when I see people going to Planet Fitness because I judge them, and I shouldn't. I'm not going to 9 round. And it's just... It
could've been us.
It seems like junky, and it seems kind of, like...
Were you judging Planet Fitness?
Just Planet Fitness in general, not the people.
Planet Fitness,
not the people.
Any place that serves pizza, and what else do they do?
Wait, they do that?
Wait, do they have a sauna? That's the only question.
They have like special days, bagels and like pizza days and stuff.
The one thing I will say about the place is I walked in and I felt judged from the desk. There were 2 people at the desk that were staring at me because I had a duffel bag. I'm not supposed to walk in with a bag. I can't have a gallon jug of water.
You're supposed to be
I can't make noise like if I'm lifting. I can't set the weights down more than like a subtle sound, I guess.
It's not that big of a deal,
they'll set off the lunk alarm.
I saw that, the lunk alarm.
Yeah,
and I'm like, you guys are so
It's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, whatever. But it's $10 a month.
I'm all like,
right? I'm like,
yeah, we saw your videos, dude.
That's because you're big. I am not big, and I don't want to be like big, but I like the fact that they have a lot of machines.
They do.
They have a really good setup for $10 a month.
I used to go to LA.
I'm sorry.
I mean,
so awful.
what I mean is La Fitness.
La Fitness.
I used to go to La Fitness, and I did all meathead workouts,
Yeah. Bench press.
And that's like what you do there. But actually, I kind of like Planet Fitness better because you get in and get out like 45 minutes to an hour, where I would be in La Fitness for like 2 hours.
In Carmel?
I'm at the, well,
This one right
I
here.
think I'm at all of them, right?
Oh,
Yeah, it's all
you
of
can
them.
go to
Yeah.
And it's like 10 bucks a month. One of the things we're doing with alignment is it's aligning your life and bringing balance to your life, you know? And you only have so much time. You only have
one
so
life.
much energy.
Yeah.
Unless you're Christian, then you live again.
Okay.
Shout out to Jesus. Hashtag that.
How about your highs and lows, Terrence?
Oh.
Let's work our way around
Yeah,
here.
I'm excited right now, man.
I know
we got
you
our
are.
guest in the house.
I am excited too.
Miss Belle. And
Belay.
Belay. This is a high. I was coming off a run today with Aubrey.
Yeah?
We hit a 5K.
How's that going?
It was great, man. I got second place out of my age bracket.
Oh wow.
And now
That's impressive.
I officially have moved from the 25 to 29-year-old age bracket to the 30 to 39 bracket. So now I'm like the young gun in the
Gotcha.
bracket. So I took home the silver today.
Wait, what did you get last time?
I got a third.
Yeah, so you're moving up.
I got the third overall last time, but I got the second in my age division
That's
today.
good.
So today is a high. Gonna hear about your story is a high. We're gonna have some fun.
So the high is that you're fast again, and the low is that you're old.
And you're in incredible shape.
Yeah, no, I'm not even mad that I'm gonna know.
I'm just kidding,
I'm not
man.
mad.
You're not old.
But listen, probably the low.
You're younger than me.
I am.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
33, right?
I'm the old, I'm the old
Yeah,
wise one.
You are the wise one. The
Not
old-
really.
Yeah, that's about it. Honestly, I'm kind of riding a high right now.
That's awesome,
so,
man. I
That's
can
good.
feel it. I
Yeah,
feel
yeah.
your energy. I would say my high this week has been, you know, last week I talked about my low was not being as committed as I wanted to this challenge and kind of failing in the challenge,
That was week 2.
but that was week 3 of the challenge.
Okay.
And then the idea that failing doesn't make you a failure, right? What makes you a failure is failing, letting that get to you, and then owning the failure. If you recognize that you have failed and you correct that behavior, then you're not a failure,
Exactly.
right?
Right.
So
It's a learning.
Call yourself a
it's a
failure.
learning experience. That's exactly right. So last week was that week for me. I had failed at the challenge. I went to Vegas and partied and
We remember.
and I completely dropped the ball on this challenge. I thought I could do it, and I think you probably could if you were more focused, but I didn't. But this weekend I got back on track. I got pretty close to my macros every day. I'm still trying to get better, and I got a plan this week. I think I'm going to hit them all.
Oh yeah.
And man, I've noticed so much difference. Worked out every day, did cardio every day, lifted. So I feel really good about where I am in the challenge. I feel like I'm at like where I should have been last week. I'm at like week 3. So I did really well with alignment. And you know what's crazy is what Jeremiah was talking about. You know, his whole idea is with alignment is that your life aligns. And a lot of people, they start with the physical part, right?
Yeah.
Your diet and your exercise and just physically where you are, kind of, if you can get a handle on that and you can get control of that, then emotionally, mentally, spiritually, it all starts to align. That's the whole idea of alignment. All in all, it was a good week. I'm trying to think if there were any lows. Oh, okay. I do have a low.
Wow.
Yesterday, wow.
Wow.
Yesterday, tried to do a fun little fall activity and go to the pumpkin patch. So drove all the way up to Noblesville, like 191st Street. So all the way up to Noblesville, brought Judah, and we get there, and it's this like cool farm. They have all these little rides and like all these amazing pumpkins. I can't wait to get some and participate in fun.
You sound like a kid.
Fall activity. I'm trying to be like a normal 33-year-old guy, right? Let's go. Let's take the dog and to the pumpkin patch, and we'll do this. And like do something fun that's not just having a wild balls out party, right? like I have been trying to lock it up a little bit.
Dial it in.
Do some family fun activities, right? You know, like some boring fun activities. Anyway, So I'm like, let's go to the pumpkin patch like a square. And so I get up there and they're like, excuse me, sir.
Oh no.
We don't allow dogs.
Oh, turn away.
You not allow
yeah.
Judah.
Turn away from that place, dude.
Bro,
Leave him a Yelp review.
can I tell you something? I was shocked because one, it's outside. It's a farm. It's a farm. It's a farm. There's animals running around everywhere. What the hell?
Yours has got a leash.
I know. Dude, I was just like, are you kidding me? First, there's all these like little kids running around. The parents are going crazy, pulling their hairs out, trying to carry babies and under one arm, pumpkins under the other.
And you just got cute Judah.
And I got Judah over here who's super well behaved. I have tons of poop bags. I'm ready to go.
You got this.
What if you were legally, like, you know,
Get your fanny pack on.
those
Service dog?
Service dog.
Service
yeah.
dog. I thought about
All you
pulling
gotta
that
do is buy a
card,
vest.
but
Should've pulled it.
But the
Should've
girl,
pulled it.
but the girl that worked in the booth knew me. She knows that
Oh, she knew the hammer.
she knows that I'm emotionally
Well, that's
unstable,
cool.
and that unfortunately I don't have a support dog. I need one. I should register Judah. That would be my low that I got sadly turned away from the pumpkin patch. I guess
Or Judah do.
I guess I'm destined to be just this awesome guy that
If
does
you're
all
not
this
this
cool
tall,
stuff.
you can't ride.
Yeah, I just can't be.
Why don't you
They
just-
don't let guys like me into the pumpkin
Why don't you
patch.
just
Okay,
play
I
guitar?
like danger.
Why don't you
I
just
like
be
danger.
dangerous? Why don't you just be who you are, Kyle? You don't need to be a boring pumpkin dad to make the world a better
A
place.
boring pumpkin guy. Okay, anyway, those are my highs and lows. It was a relatively good week, and I don't need to go to the pumpkin patch.
You don't need to go to the pumpkin patch.
I'll go to the farmer's market and
You're on the far side of the moon.
Yeah, you're so cool.
Jason, do you want to introduce our guest?
Okay, yeah.
Yes, here she
This
goes.
is the
Drum
point.
roll, y'all.
Our guest this week, I met her, I was bartending at Flicks. I saw her with a group of girls, and she had her camera out with her tripod, and she was just panning around, and I was bartending with my buddy Mark, and we're like, oh snap. I think we said World Star or something.
World Star.
We said something like, oh snap camera, like what's up? And that's how I met her, and then we started talking a little bit. She does a lot of vlogs on YouTube, and I mentioned, hey, we're doing a podcast, like we're just having some fun. So it's kind of like a similar, like we like sharing content and everything, but she is miles ahead of what we do, obviously. And I don't want to take up any more time, but without further ado, the one and only
Oh, yeah.
ShannaMarie.
Highs and lows.
Hi, highs and lows. Okay, I had a really, really good week. Okay, so I would say my highs, I've been working out pretty hard. I just started working out with this trainer. We're kind of like helping each other out.
He has a Captain America beard, by the way.
Oh.
Yeah.
Sorry,
like
I didn't mean to cut you off.
He's super, like, he's actually a natural pro bodybuilder.
Ooh.
But he's retired. But he's done a lot of cool things.
Natural
And
as in no supplements,
No,
right?
yeah,
Or,
no
like,
steroids.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Juicing.
Jungle juice.
yeah, no juice. No juice.
No juice.
But so he's training me for free, and I'm helping him like build his brand. And then we have like this team that's kind of like helping him like launch some really cool things. So it's a learning experience, but it's also like it's really cool. So that's pretty cool. We just started this new program that's pretty intense, so that was exciting.
Workout program?
Yeah. I let myself go. I gained a lot of weight. I was in a relationship, and he was kind of like, he didn't care about that stuff. So I got a little bit lazy and just blew up, felt really uncomfortable, and I was like, I'm ready to get it together.
Yeah.
And I ended up joining this challenge.
How long have you been in it now?
I started like hardcore in July. I joined this challenge through this supplement company that I now work with, PHORM.
Okay.
And yeah, they're awesome stuff. And then that challenge just kind of like snapped me back in gear.
Come on.
And then I started working with Austin, is his name, and
Cool.
now I'm just like it helps to have something to work for.
Yeah.
And
sure.
like now I'm just like I
Oh,
feel
you're in
so good.
Oh, she's back.
It's like I threw
She's back,
twice and I'm back.
Okay, cool. So that was definitely a high this week.
Total high, yeah.
What about
a low? Okay, so I moved into this new place.
I think I know what it is.
I love this place. It has been so hard to find a good apartment in Indy. It's so hard
it can
to
be,
find
especially if you don't know the area. You're new.
I know the area, but it's just so hard to find like.
And you have sinks backing up. I totally get it.
Right, but so this place is like everything that I've been praying for the last 5 years.
Oh, come on.
So I move in, and then I'm like trying to get myself together, and I pick something up, and I see this spider. But this is not just normal spider, okay? This spider's body was that
she's making a quarter,
big.
y'all.
That's like a quarter.
I'm not
She's
even
got a quarter.
joking. I about
It
lost.
looks like a milk dud.
No, seriously, a milk dud with furry legs. Okay?
Furry guy too.
I about died. So I'm like, okay, no. So I killed it. And then I remember what she said when she did the walkthrough. She was like, if you ever see any spiders, let me know. And I was just like, no, I never see spiders in the apartment. And oh my gosh, every day. I'm like, I can't live
Every
like
day?
this. Every day.
No.
I'm talking big.
The arachnophobia.
Every day?
Like, I almost cussed. It's that
I
bad.
almost cussed.
Big MFers.
Man,
like, no.
so I'm like googling like how do spiders get in, like all this stuff. So I have like my home defense. And I'm like
she's coming
spraying
against them.
everywhere.
Why won't they come spray for it?
They do spray. She said they spray every week.
They need to get some new spray.
Right, so I told her, I was like, I ended up sending her a message. I was just like, I don't know what kind of
Like, this ain't
spiders
working.
y'all got here, but it looks like they are like U.S. citizens with passports and social security numbers. Y'all need to come and have somebody spray. I can't live like this. So I ended up figuring out like why they're coming in. So there's these gaps in between the baseboards and the floors that are literally like I could fit through there.
my god.
Oh my god.
Why did you finish construction? So I'm like, okay, I'm not living like this. I went and I got some caulk and a caulking gun.
Oh, let's go.
And I was like, look,
No
give me
more
my hard
spiders.
hat. I'm taking care of this. So I literally caulked my entire apartment.
Oh,
I was like,
God.
So you caulked your whole place just to keep spiders out?
yes.
Oh my
No
god.
spiders.
Okay.
No spiders.
It was either
hate
caulking
spiders,
or was buying like those
Show us
strips
how big the
that-
spiders were again.
Literally the body. The body.
That's a quarter.
Body.
Hairy legs.
Hairy leg. She said
Awesome.
It
more
was
than one.
horrible. I was like, no. So
Jinx.
That's a terrible low because I hate spiders personally. I got bit by a brown recluse one time. Almost lost my whole arm.
Did you die?
People die from that, man.
Spoiler alert, I did not die.
Oh my gosh. So yeah, anyway.
So anyway, that was my low, but you know what? This is just another example of those character building experiences.
Oh yeah.
Like I feel like
Joy
the Lord
triumphs.
is preparing me
Joy and
to
triumphs.
know what to do when He brings me my mansion. When I'm building my mansion.
If you can attack spiders and conquer spiders,
But like I
you
need
can
to
do
know
anything.
when they're building it, like what to look for.
You tell them right out the gate. Listen, put those doors down to the floor.
Right.
No spiders
Because
no more.
Builders, you don't stay on top of them, then
Right.
you know what I mean. They're gonna slide by and try to get away with stuff. But when you
get some
when you
good
know
builders,
what
though.
to look for,
Yeah.
I feel like, look, you are building my mansion. Okay. Like I'm gonna need you to build this properly so no spiders can get in.
Make a journal now.
When she
My
posted
mansion
it on her
checkmark.
Instagram story, I looked and I was like, there's no baseboard,
There is
there's
I
no
have
floor
pictures.
trim,
I have
there is
What?
nothing
These
there.
are
dude.
mandatory.
It's just
It's an open space.
You've been here for 5 years. Let's talk about this. Let's start the story. Where did you move here from, and when did you move here, and why?
Okay.
Oh, good.
I'm originally from Chicago, from the Chicago area, Evanston. Which
north
is,
side or south side?
Yeah, north side.
Cubs. Okay, so we're gonna cut this pod. We're cutting this podcast short.
We found our first
We're
deny.
cutting this podcast
But
short
we were
already.
I'm
I'm just kidding.
So she's coming from the
I
side.
don't do baseball.
I'm just kidding. It's okay.
Sorry.
We love you still. It's totally fine.
So I moved to Bloomington first, actually, in
really?
2002. I moved there because my grandfather was originally from Ellisville, and my grandmother was a city girl and didn't want to leave, so he never really got to visit and whatever. So when she passed away, my mom was taking care of them, and she wanted to honor his wishes and move back, and she asked my brothers and myself if we wanted to come with, and it was the best decision I ever made. And then it was such a great decision. I mean, I consider Bloomington to be like an incubator.
Yeah, oh yeah.
It's like it's like
propels you.
Yeah, I had no choice but to grow because there was nothing else to do. There was nothing else to do
besides camp. Camping is fun in Bloomington.
I've never been camping.
Wait, Bloomington, Illinois or Indiana?
Indiana.
Okay, cool.
B-Town.
Yeah.
So did you go to IU?
No. No, I actually do hair.
You see all this IU stuff around
Oh,
here?
yeah. IU's cool, but like when you're not in school, it's not fun.
I bet.
And then especially once you get to the age where you're like not even
Not
that age anymore, it's like,
time to move out.
Yeah, I really didn't like it there. Especially the last several years, I was like, I need something more. I can't do this. And I've always loved Indy. So I decided to take a leap of faith and move to Indy, and I commute. I actually work in Bloomington still 2 days a week.
Wow.
So I do hair there.
Yeah,
and,
you do.
Yeah.
Shout out to your hair.
Thank you.
Which we will definitely get into.
Jason wore a hat today because he was so insecure about his hair.
Hey, you haven't seen, check out her YouTube, ShannaMarie, and you can see.
Okay, so let's kind of talk about that then. How did you make this transition into being a professional vlogger? And is that what you would call yourself? What do you call yourself?
Still kind of weird. I mean, I think I would consider myself just to be an entrepreneur.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, you know, doing hair was always what I said that I did for a living. But actually the Lord just put it on my heart. He kind of convicted me about it because I was a little bit embarrassed. Like, oh, what do you do for a living? Oh, YouTube. Oh, you know, it's just silly. And I would just kind of underestimate it.
I think it's awesome.
It is pretty cool.
Yeah.
I mean,
we saw your videos. I was like, Jason, show me like a couple videos of her.
Man.
And so he starts scrolling through. I was like, hey, pick that one. That one looks cool. So he clicks on it, and then it's like, man, these are really well done.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I was like, that's kind of what I'm excited to talk to you about.
Yeah.
Also, we randomly selected the video.
That Jason's there. I know. I picked the one that
It has the most views, which
He's
makes
like-
sense because I'm in there.
He was,
But
he was like,
it was really cool.
he was like, I think this is the one I'm in. Anyway,
Sounds
tell
like
us
we have a sweet-
kind of how you got started
Okay.
doing that, because that's how we kind of found you, and that's why you're here today.
Okay, well, okay, so this story is kind of interesting. So I sing at Heartland, and at the time I was on like the main worship team, and I was singing every single week, and this new girl came in, and her name is Gabrielle, and Gabrielle and her husband do YouTube full time, and like they are beasting at this game.
Awesome.
Like they're awesome. And at first I was just, you know, I mean, I feel like people think they hear you YouTube and they're like, what in the world? Like, what does that mean? Like, I didn't really know. I had never knew it was a thing, really.
Yeah.
So I would watch her videos, and I love reality TV, but I like real reality better.
Too.
So watching it was just so interesting to me, like to see how other people live. So I was like obsessed with watching her videos, and I love her and her husband. Like they're the most adorable couple.
Okay.
And so then I saw she posted this thing. They were on Fox 59, and they did like this interview, and she said that they make a full-time income, and I'm like, what?
Yeah.
So then I was on the way to work when I was watching this, and I felt, this sounds, a lot of people don't understand, I know you guys probably will, but a lot of people don't understand when I say this, like, I feel like the Lord put it on my heart to start a channel.
Yes.
And at first, I wanted to be careful because I didn't want my motivation to be money.
Whoa, Judah just jumped right over top of
He
it.
literally, like,
He's very athletic.
you are
He gets it from his dad.
So,
you heard from the Lord.
Yeah, so I really felt, I wanted to make sure that my motivation was not the money. But I always felt like God had more for me. I just didn't know what it was. I was at a point where I knew that doing hair was not it. And I just didn't know what else. And I felt like the Lord wanted me to have some type of platform. I just didn't know what direction He wanted me to go or how it would happen. So it came to my mind, and initially I was just like, oh, I could make money. So I'm just thinking about it, and then I let it go, and I'm just like, whatever, this is stupid. But then as time went on, like it started weighing on me. I felt like I really need to do this. So I just said, okay, God, if you want me to do this, then you need to provide me with the things that I need. Like I need a laptop because mine was broken. I need a vlogging camera, and I need to be able to have the things that I need to make this happen and be good quality. So, I mean, literally within 2 months, I had everything.
Balling. That's awesome.
Yeah, so
So
I'm like, okay.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
So, as a person of faith, and I love how you talk really openly about your faith. That's something we do on here. We try to be real about it, you know. When you say that you heard from God, you know, you heard the people at your church, the worship leaders at your church say that they do it, and then when you heard about it, you felt like you heard from God that He wanted you to start a channel. What does that feel like, and what does that mean for people that don't know, or people that are like, heard from God? That sounds crazy.
Right.
Right?
This little audible voice.
I mean, I kind of feel like I know what you mean, but what is?
It was
can you describe
it was
that?
almost as if God like planted a seed inside of me, like kind of like a nudge, like you should do that. And I'm like, whatever. Like I'm not gonna do that. You need to do that. I don't think I can do that because do it. You know, like that. Just like you need to do it.
Just like clarity.
Yeah,
like,
it was
okay,
almost
this
like
is clear, very
something
clear.
inside of you, kind of like it's like your spirit and your instincts are the same thing. It's like you follow your instincts. Your instincts are usually never wrong. So if you feel like, for example, if your friends invite you somewhere or you are supposed to go volunteer and you don't really want to, and you're like, I don't really want to go, and then if you keep feeling like you need to go, I just don't want to, I really want to stay home, and you keep feeling like that, I always describe the lack of peace kind of like this. It's like crumpling your hands together, and like inside you just feel like, and then when you know that it's right, it's just kind of like, just calm. Just calm. Like this feels like the right decision. So the more I tried to fight what I was feeling, like that thought that it could be perceived as like a thought in your head that just pops up, but really it's God prompting you.
Okay, so the thought popped in your head, and you're like, I've never really thought about this before.
I never wanted to do
This
that.
isn't a thought that you would have naturally had.
No.
Okay.
But because of the people who had done it, you were getting these ideas.
I think because it's a potential business, it's potential income, and I think it started because I did not want to do hair forever. Like I love my job, but I don't want it to be my primary income source. I don't want it to be something that I have to do. I want it to be something that I want to do. So I didn't know what else I could possibly do.
So it was a thought that you had that was not really natural, like
not at all.
It was out of nowhere.
Because I'm a very private person, actually.
And then surprisingly. And then on that thought, you were like, man, I could do this.
I didn't really feel that confident.
Okay, so you weren't confident.
No.
So it was something out of the ordinary.
Very.
So it was a step of faith.
And then, but you did feel some peace from it, you said.
I did.
Okay.
I did. I think once the Lord just started making provisions for me to buy the things that I needed, and you know, I think, you know, it's like, oh cool, I get this computer, oh this cool camera, and then you like turn it on and it's like, what am I supposed to say? Like, this feels so
that would be weird.
Yeah,
that would be weird.
Yeah, it's like so awkward because like I know I'm not talking to anybody because nobody's watching.
So what was your initial thoughts? Like, what kind of content do I want to create? What am I going to put up here?
I think initially I was watching some beauty blog because I knew I didn't want to vlog my life.
Okay.
I didn't want to vlog my life, so I'm like, okay, I know how to do makeup a little bit.
Which
I actually ended up.
Funny because that's like what you do now.
That's totally what I do.
It's like your whole life.
And it's weird because I'm actually a really transparent person naturally. Like that's why I'm really careful about who I hang around with because I'm too open. And you have to be careful, as you know, about who you share your stuff with, which, you know, I'm sharing myself with the world really. But, you know.
How many subscribers do you have now?
I have like 18,000.
That's crazy.
Wow!
Yeah, that is so many.
I'm proud
That's good for the listeners to hear too, because let's give the listeners an idea of where you're coming from now, because we're kind of starting from the beginning.
Right.
But let's say where you are now. So now it is like a lifestyle vlog, where it's almost like your own reality show, right? You have 18,000 subscribers, which is completely insane. How many videos would you say you have?
Oh, I think I have maybe. Actually, I'm not sure. Maybe 250.
Dang.
Okay.
How often?
Cool.
I try to do at least 5 days a week. It just depends on the week, though. But I try to do every day. I aim for every day, but
what other social medias? You have Instagram.
I have Instagram. I started with one channel.
Okay.
And then I started with like tutorials and a little bit of vlogging, and I was inconsistent, whatever. So then I ended up meeting a guy at church, and I ended up, I don't know, our relationship went really quick, but he was close to the pastor, and the pastor was basically like, when are you guys getting married? When are you getting married? When are you getting married? When are you getting married? When are you
my
getting
God.
married?
That's so common.
I hate that.
Yeah.
It's very common.
I hate that.
In the
So we spent a lot of time together, and
unhealthy.
it is very unhealthy. And can I keep it really real?
That's what we do
Okay.
here.
Oh yeah.
I really don't care for the pastor that much. Never really have, and everyone else was just like, I mean, they agree, but nobody would say anything. But I was always honest. Like, I don't care for him. I never did. I could always feel that something wasn't quite right there. But for some reason, I think I had blinders on to this guy that I was dating, and
we do.
Yeah,
Guys
and I decided to stop being so picky. And I didn't listen to God speaking in me because I thought that maybe I was being too picky, or I'm just being ridiculous, or I'm just trying to find something wrong with him and whatever. Anyway, long story short, we ended up getting married. We started a channel together, and Gabrielle, actually, she was in my wedding. She's like one of my really good friends. And she gave us a shout out, and our channel exploded.
Okay.
Oh,
so yeah,
she had a channel, you said?
Yeah, Gabrielle's the one that I was inspired by originally.
Okay.
Was
What
she
was her
Eclipse?
channel?
No,
Sorry.
that's
Okay.
no, that's my friend Ryan.
What was Gabrielle's channel?
It's called Gay Babe TV.
Gay Babe
they
TV.
have 330,000.
Let's go. She's
That's
about to have one more. We're
so
following her for
serious.
sure.
She is a beast. Like, they have, and they're the cutest family in the, oh my gosh. I freaking love watching them. So, anyway, so she gave us a shout out, and people love seeing, I mean, it's hard to say interracial because I'm mixed. I'm black and white. He was white. And people love seeing that dynamic.
Yes.
So especially because I never dated a white guy, so it was different for me, and I was honest about that on my channel. And I don't think he dated a black girl either, or a mixed girl, whatever. So we talked about that a little bit, but people like seeing that. So our channel, we were like growing 1,000
That's cool.
a week.
Holy
Yeah.
man.
So then, I mean, our marriage literally lasted like 4 months because he
Was there
cheated
any
on me, and
unhealthy pressure with that? Like, you guys had to like perform for the pod or the
I didn't feel it. But I think at first because I asked him, I was like, is this something that you would ever want to do before we even got married? Before we even talked about marriage? And he was just like, yeah, that'd be really cool. So I'm like, awesome. Like, that's kind of what I want. And so he was gung-ho for it, and we started vlogging when we were dating. And then when we got engaged, we started a channel together. And then he was all about it. I mean, he was a little bit kind of like standoffish at first, but then as time went on and like money started coming in, he was like all excited about it. Of course,
that's how we are.
Sounds about right.
No baby, no baby.
Exactly.
Let's do this.
But then in the end, he blamed that for our marriage. Whatever. So anyway, so we dated, and through this time, I have 3 people that I really confide in: my mom, my mentor, and my best friend. So I'm like, there were like little subtle things that he would do that were just red flags to me. Just little stupid things, like I don't really listen to secular music that much. And he would be like, oh, me either. But then we would get in his car and secular music is blasting. Like, I don't care what you listen to. I mean, I do care what you listen to. I don't care that you listen to the radio. Yeah. But like, don't lie to me about it. Like, if that's who you are, then be who you are. So like, that was kind of like a ding 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 ding. And there were a couple other things like that, and I would bring to their attention, like, you're just trying to find something wrong with him, and you've never been with a white guy, and that's why that you're just.
But these things were important to you.
Very. And it wasn't even about the music. It was about the fact that you lied about it. And so, like, it just kind of was just like, oh, like, I don't know. But I'm like, yeah, you're right. Maybe I'm just tripping. Like,
did you ever call him out on it? Or
I didn't at that time because I like to observe.
That's good.
Yeah.
And also, guys are like super sensitive of when you call them out. You have to. You can't be like,
be in love.
what? I thought you never. You told me that you do, and
no,
you never listen to that kind of music. If you do that, guys are gonna be like,
what? He was training for a fitness competition at the time. He had all these, like, he bought these like protein peanut butters, and he's claimed that he never cheated on his diet.
Delicious.
And like, to me, that diet is just, come on, like. So like, all this peanut butter, all these jars are like half eaten. So I'm like,
He became too
Like,
defensive.
oh, he was so defensive. So if I would have brought anything up, he would. So instead, I just talked to my people that I confided in, and I was like, okay, well, what do you think about this? Because he said, okay, so another thing on Instagram, he bought followers. And I knew because like when I first started following him, he had like 52, and then all of a sudden he has like 4,000. I'm like, oh my God, Maria, girl, he bought followers. I don't think I can do this. I don't think I can do this. And she's like, Shanna, you're just being ridiculous. And I'm like, no, it's not about the fact that he bought followers. It's the fact that he literally called me and was like, oh my gosh, like, because we recorded each other, we went to the gym and we recorded each other working out or whatever. He posted it, and he was just like, oh my gosh, I just posted this video, and like it got me so many followers. Okay. And I'm literally like, this mother doesn't me.
Okay, so this is
real as it gets.
So I told Andrea.
That's just a stupid thing to lie about.
Exactly. So
like,
I told her, she was like, Shanna, you're just, God blessed you with this opportunity to meet somebody who's going to treat you right, and you just and I'm like,
is that how she normally talks? She
no.
Okay.
So I'm like, maybe you're right. Maybe I'm just tripping. Like, So I tell all the same things to my mentor. She's like, Shanna, and then I mean the Lord really.
Hey, way to be wise enough to have a mentor too.
Right.
Yeah, that's a
Thank
must.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Everybody needs a mentor. Everybody.
For sure.
Yeah. Actually, I think you always need a mentor, somebody who's like, you know, above you, and also you need to be mentoring someone else.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. So, but the funny thing is, like, you can't always take their word. The important thing is not taking their word for God's, because even in that situation, you know, there were some things, and God really did do a lot in that situation. Like, I don't feel like marrying him was a mistake, which sounds so contradictory, but it was an experience that I needed to grow me and to make me who I am today. And if I didn't go through that, I don't think that I would be where I am or who I am right now. Yeah. So I don't regret it, but even, you know, she was just like, Shanna, you need to relax. Like, God has opened up so many doors. And my first response was, Satan opens doors too.
Oh, it's true.
And she was like, this is ridiculous. And I can't believe it. I'm like, but I was right about everything.
I'm picturing that Kermit sipping tea meme right now. Like,
I told you.
Like, I told, oh, it's all y'all's fault.
I told y'all. So,
but that's none of my business. So.
Okay, so let's catch this up a little bit. So, and then you start to figure out that, man, this guy, maybe he's not as self-aware, you know, as I thought he was. And do I have the patience to help it? Because really, if you're his wife, now you gotta help him become self-aware.
Right,
but you're like, oh boy, I don't know if I want.
It's crazy because like I thought he was self-aware.
Right.
So he's okay.
It takes a while to get to know somebody.
Yeah, we went to premarital counseling and everything, and I mean, he said and did all the right things.
Oh, we always do in the beginning, right?
Right.
We're trying to woo y'all.
But I think even to this day, like and I actually feel sad for him. Like, am I angry and annoyed about the situation? Absolutely. But I feel sad for him because I really truly believe that he thinks in his head, he thinks that he is that person.
There are so many people. There are so many people like that.
Yeah.
It's a problem with guys. Right? It's a problem with guys because it's our job to attract the girl, right? All that stuff.
That's so great.
But maturity is understanding that, hey, I can't freaking lie to this girl. Like, I've got to be who I am. And then you get to a certain point, I think, as you get older and testing it out and realizing it doesn't work, then you're like, okay, I'm just going to completely be transparent. And hopefully, because I need to find a girl that will put up with my shit, one, and then two, help, right? And that the other thing is like help you get there, right? So you need somebody, you need to level with somebody.
For sure.
And I think it takes maturity, and not every guy has it. And I think every guy is learning it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, even for example, the last guy I dated, he's a great guy.
I don't want to just sit here and like rip on this dude.
No, well, I mean, he's not the best version of
It's his own.
But like the last guy I dated was a great guy. Like he was the first person I dated after my divorce, and he's the one that restored my desire to be in a relationship. Like, he's such a good guy, but just because someone's a good person doesn't make them the right right person for you.
Oh,
So,
for sure. It is
You know what
not
I mean?
wrong to have a checklist.
Totally.
And say
And
those
there
things
was
to God and wait for
he was
Mr.
just
Right.
a little bit emotionally immature when it came to like dealing with conflict, and I knew that that's not something that I can handle. So we ended it. But like, you know, it's one thing to like. You just gotta be mature about it. You gotta know who you are, and that's you have to know who you are. But even if you put on a front, putting on a front for somebody is different than not knowing who you are, or thinking that you really are somebody who you really aren't.
Right.
I think a lot of times people put on fronts because how they really feel about themselves is they feel insecure, or they feel like they're not, they don't feel like they have any value, you know, so they feel like they have to portray themselves in a way. Yeah, and I mean, I've definitely done that before. I've done that. When I was younger, I did it all the time. And actually, when I was a lot younger, I come from like a pretty rough background. There was like some abuse in the home, and so I would go to school and, you know, try to act like everything was okay. So when people would ask me, you know, oh, what'd you have for dinner last night? I couldn't tell them, oh, I didn't have dinner because my parents were fighting and it was a terrible night, and I actually, the cops came and had to take my stepdad, and I had to go to my grandparents' house. I couldn't tell them that, so I said, chicken. And that became, I had to do that over and over and over again. Or like, you get in some sketchy situations where there's abuse, that like, you know, that's physical abuse or sexual abuse, and you have to lie about it. Or you feel like you have to lie about it because you feel guilty, you feel like I'm going to get in trouble if I tell somebody, and so that was my situation. And so then I began portraying my life in a different way than it was. And that's a different thing, but there were times where I, you know, in this like guy-girl situation, where it was like, okay, like I know how to do that, and I would catch myself doing it, you know, but it always makes you feel terrible in the back end. Right. And I think you learn that when you're young, going through young relationships. Hopefully you learn. But I think, you know, guys, man, we're really driven by, you know, the opposite sex, and sometimes it can be a real problem for dudes to just like be real.
That's sad.
It is sad, but
that is
not every guy.
That is like
that.
Right. No, I know that's the truth. Yeah.
And every guy's on a journey, and you gotta kind of realize where they are in their journey, and it's important for a guy to feel respected and be proud of himself.
And that can be worked with.
Yeah,
it
like,
can
as long as you're aware, or even if you're not necessarily aware, if I bring something up to your attention and you're willing to look
be
at
corrected.
it. Exactly.
Like we're not.
It's also
perfect,
how you do the correcting too. You can't do it in a way that's like disrespectful, you know.
Definitely.
But
or nagging. No nagging.
No nagging.
I think number
gentle
one
correction works though.
I'll be honest. As a guy, I want to be with a girl who's like a badass, who has her shit together, who
for sure
can say, Kyle, like, we're gonna be partners, and like you're gonna be, we would be better together, right? And there's some things I could help her with because I love being a helper, and there's some things she can help me with. So I'm already open to the help.
Right.
Some guys aren't.
Oh,
some girls aren't.
A lot of people
just people in general are closed off to being help, or like you can't tell them anything, right?
I feel like people are afraid
so
to
I guess
be
you gotta be
transparent.
open.
Oh yeah.
Oh, definitely. I think everybody.
Which I think is what drives me to be so transparent.
Because we're insecure.
Yeah. Because we have false identities too. You know what I mean? I think we're insecure a lot of times because we find our identities in things that don't satisfy us, you know? So for us around this table, we're on a spiritual journey. I would say we're all on a spiritual journey.
For sure.
And we've found identity in God, who God says we are, you know? Yeah. At the end of the day, whatever happens, we know we're going to heaven. In this table, amongst this table. And so if you don't know, for example, who you are, what you stand for, or if you don't have some of these questions figured out, you're going to look to all kinds of other stuff to answer the question, who you are.
Right.
You know, and if you don't know who you are, you're going to be insecure. You know, and if you're insecure, you're going to not want to share yourself because you'll be scared of being judged. Or,
because everybody feels like they're the only one.
Yeah, and that's not the case. Yeah, we're all in the same boat together.
And then that leads to like comparison with other people.
Yeah.
Which you become even more insecure.
Where it's like, run your own race, like be the best version of you, keep working on yourself, you know what I mean? It sounds like maybe I'm hearing your story with you and your ex. You know, like you guys were maybe unequally yoked. You wanted to do this thing, you know? And you're trying to like blossom into you. And I think that's the journey we're all on. Like I'm not walking your race, you're not running mine. We got to walk our race, we got to run our race, but we have to be who we are. I can't be you, you know? And it's better for the world, for everybody, if I'm myself, if you're yourself. And sometimes we just need a little support, you know? And acceptance. Like, hey, you be who you are, and I'll be who I am, and we can run this thing together and make each other, like you were talking about, better, sharper. We can help each other.
So let's keep going down your story. You were in this marriage, it ended, you had started vlogging during it, and now you're continuing without it. How is that to be honest with and so transparent with your viewers or listeners?
It was humiliating.
I bet.
Oh my gosh. So we had this great channel, and then, you know, the crap hit the fan. And I'm just not a fake person, so we didn't vlog for several weeks because I just can't pretend, you know, like everything's great. So, you know, people, they knew. I mean, they're not stupid. So they would be like, I hope you're okay, and we're worried about you, and I hope everything's okay in your marriage, and blah, blah, blah. So then I ended up, like, after I knew things were done, I was getting ready to move out, I made a video just kind of explaining. I didn't give details. Because even to this day, like, I mean, I told them what happened, he was, you know, unfaithful, whatever, but I didn't give them details about what happened, because I'm not trying to disrespect.
Real quick, do you read YouTube comments?
Yes.
Okay.
I try to interact with them as much as possible.
Because I know a lot of times people, like, like Joe Rogan will say, don't get caught up in the comments, who cares what people say, don't worry about it.
I didn't, after I got divorced, I did not read them for a long time. So then I changed the name of my channel, because our channel at first was called Meet the Love All, so that was his last name, and then we, then
it's an ABC sitcom.
Right, it was so cute. And, exactly, it was so like that.
The problem is he was just supposed to love you, not all.
Drop the mic!
Drop the mic in the podcast.
And the podcast is over.
Oh, real though, okay? So,
that should have been number 1.
You're so poetic.
Poetic justice.
So, I changed the name of the channel, and then I just kind of did a video just telling them kind of a gist of what's happening. I'm moving out and like whatever. And then I just kind of went from there. I mean, it was really hard. I mean, a lot of people are like, they blame the channel for the reason why we didn't work. I mean, nobody knows what happened. At this point, I felt like God was telling me just to keep my mouth shut, period. Yeah. Like, just don't say anything. Like, address it. Obviously, it didn't work out, but like, you don't give any information. So I just kind of did like a basic thing, and then I just started vlogging regularly just about my posts. Like, it was hard because like I had so many sad days, and people don't want to be depressed. So it was challenging because a lot of people were like, this is so depressing. But then so many women were emailing me like, you are inspiring me, and I'm going through something similar, and blah, blah, blah. So it just,
that's what it's all about, right?
I think being transparent is a huge thing for inspiration.
Totally.
Like, I heard, so I listen to the Joe and Alex show, and Joe is one of the hosts on there, and he's doing this like weight loss thing, and he's like, hey guys, like, I just want to give you a quick update. Like, I failed on my diet, and I feel bad because I just want to be inspiring. And I want to call and say, like, dude, you being open and honest and transparent, that's inspiring enough.
Sure, it is.
Like, you just have to just be real.
Just be real.
Exactly.
Just be real.
And that's the inspiration of that.
So they're reaching out.
And that's what I mean, inspired me to keep going. I felt like God wanted me to continue.
What was it like having that support from the listeners, though? I bet
it was great. I mean, there were
people emailing you like, hey, I hope you're okay.
Yes. I mean, so many people genuinely cared.
Yeah.
And like that was really beautiful. And in the beginning, it was. I mean, there were still a lot of people that were really supportive, but I have a lot of Christians following me.
Mm-hmm. Come on.
And
116.
Christians can be a little.
Not Christian-like, how they're supposed to be.
Yeah.
Super not Christian.
I mean, it's totally, especially because they don't know anything that happened. They don't know my heart. They don't really know me. You know what I mean? They don't know that I have spent countless hours with the Lord.
Yeah.
Like battling this.
Yeah. Real Christians don't judge.
Totally. And
it's just about being real. I mean,
you gotta be real and you gotta love.
So they're like, all they see is divorce and God says this and God says that. And this is not of God and
God says a lot of other things that you're not reading either.
So I mean, the first
look at your own play.
The first probably year was really hard. I mean, it was really hard.
So you were battling criticism and skeptics and naysayers.
Totally. And no wonder he left her and like, oh man,
just
like so much stuff. Yeah.
That's
and
cool.
I did suffer from depression. Like I decided to, because I had that battle of, you know, I want to die every day. Like people I used to get mad when people would be like, you know, if you're feeling sad today, just think, you know, you woke up. Like that's a reason to be blessed. I'm like, what do you mean? Like I don't want to be here. Like I would rather be with God. Like I'm not happy I woke up.
When
like,
your insides are doing this and you're just torn.
Totally. Like it was just really hard, and I've struggled with that my whole life. So, you know, I struggled with going on antidepressants because of the Christian perspective about them. Yeah. So I never sought help because I felt like if my faith in God is strong, then I don't need an antidepressant. You know, but when I was married, it wasn't just about me anymore. And I knew that, like, it's one thing to suffer from depression and just, you know, bury yourself in your sorrow when you're living alone. Right. But it's another thing when you have to share your life with somebody. Mm-hmm. And it just got to a point where I knew, which I told him from the beginning that this is something I struggled with, but he thought he could handle it. And I'm like, I don't think you really understand. And, oh, no, I love you. Okay. Well, when the rubber meets the road, you can't really handle it. And, like, I don't necessarily blame him for that because he didn't know what he was getting into, but like I knew that I have to do whatever I can do to save this marriage, so I'm gonna go seek help and I'm gonna get on an antidepressant, and it changed my life
for the better.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I wish that I would have done this years ago. Mm-hmm. So but I did everything that I could, and I can probably say that, but it just wasn't enough, and that's fine. But so yeah, well, you know, all the criticism and all that was really hard, but I felt like the more someone would reach out to me and be like, you're helping me so much in my own depression, and thank you for sharing your story, and I'm going through the same thing with my ex-husband, or my husband wants to leave me, and how are you dealing with this? And you know, that gave me purpose. And that's when I knew for sure, like, I am doing the right thing. I know that this is what God wants me to do. I don't care what anybody says.
I love it.
Like, I'm doing what God is telling me to do, whether you understand it or not is irrelevant.
Come on.
So I knew that, I knew from then on, like, this is, I don't know what God's going to do with it from here on out. I know that there's more than just YouTube, but YouTube is, you know, YouTube is just the beginning. Yeah.